everybody. Thanks for stopping back by Wild Bird Creative. I am working on the flip side of my narrow page, my new ideas page. And this week, I've got a stencil from Stencil Girls products. I've got my glues, my scraps, my tire tread, because this has been one of those weeks where I feel like I'm being run over in both directions. It's just how it's been. We all have weeks like that. Trying to regain my equilibrium here in the studio. So what I'm going to start with is I'm putting my stencil on a diagonal. And I'm using a lime green. And this is going to be just a strip running right down the edge here. And I'm going to do it fairly lightly because I want it to dry pretty quickly. Bring it out a little bit more. Set this aside. And then I'll just, as always, flip this over. Brayer it off. And I've got a beautiful print for next time. We'll set that aside, put it back onto my surface, and I have just a map that was from the inside of a book, and I just thought it was really cool. Made a quick photocopy, tore it up, changed it up a little bit, and now that is going to go right here. I've already pre-cut it so that you don't have to watch me cut things. I'll trim the last bit of it down at the end. I have a scrap of tissue here that has a Natalie Kalbach stencil on it. I believe it's called Starburst. Not positive about that. Not positive about anything this week. We're going to run that right along here. And I can trim it all up later. I like the way that green just pokes through a little bit. Get my tire tread. I feel like I want to add something else though before I do that. I'm thinking. I want some orange. So let me get my Distress Oxide Spice Marmalade and one of my Stampendous stamps, which is just a crackle one. And I'm just going to come right in over the top of everything. Just keep going here, covering everything up, making it interesting. All it's really doing is breaking up the map in the background. The map felt perfect for this week because I'm trying to find where I'm going. Not having much luck. But again, some weeks are like that. Come in along the edge here. There we go. Put that right to soak. Now I've got my gel plate here. Going to put some black on. Make it a nice layer. Set my brayer where I won't put my arm in it. Pick up my tire tread and just press it into the plate. Let's see, did I get a nice amount of cover on it? Yeah, let me get a little more over here. A little bit there. And all I'm going to do is just lay it down, give it a good hard press. It's a little bit resistant because it's got that natural curve to it and it laid out in the sun along the road for who knows how long. But I still end up with a really cool print off it. Let me just set my plate aside. We'll come back and take care of that. I'll just use the same piece of paper, flip it over. Give it a couple rolls with the brayer. And let me see. I'm probably going to be able to pull a couple prints. I've got one there. Set that aside. That's pretty wet. And then I think I'll just use a piece of notebook paper that I have some crayon rubbings on. Pull a second one. There we go. Now I've got a couple nice prints to use in the future. Set this aside. I will wash it up later. And in the meantime, this is almost dry. Okay, I've got my Art Foamy from Natalie Kalbach and my Distress Oxide in Peacock Feathers. And I'm just adding some manhole covers to this. Just spicing it up a little bit more. And I think while I am at it, I will use just a little bit of generic script. Just layering things up before I put on the final touch. I think I'll put some there. That's a great color. Look at how good that looks. And I'll trim this off at the end. And let's add the final touch. Now what? Let me get my glue stick. And I could put it this way too. I think I will. I think I'm going to run it vertically. And I'm just using my fingernail to smooth it down. Let me grab my art crayon and I'm just going to add a little purple color in spots. Right like this, just along the edges, and that will finish it up. There we go, people. Now what? Kind of sums up how things are this week. I hope your week has been great. Thanks for stopping by. Wild Bird Creative.